AEW All Out in Toronto started off with CNC versus FTR, and immediately Stokley Hathaway was pissed because it was the debut of Beth Copeland, Adam Copeland's wife, formerly known as Beth Phoenix. She would actually carry off Stokley, helping out her husband, and it turns out Stokley was the hoe. What? Cage and Copeland would take the victory before an awkward handshake and like a weird hug, whatever, but Nick Wayne would take the stage, causing a distraction. FTR would handcuff Copeland to the ropes, forcing them to watch as they took down Cage and delivered Shatter Machine to Beth Copeland. Cope was pissed. Pissed. Eddie Kingston would make his return though, letting Claudio know that he could still suck eggs, and that's beef for life, I'd say. Oh look, he still got the same singlet. That's cool. It don't matter. Anyway, he would take the win over Big Bill before Bryan Keith would get involved, taking him down, stomping him in the corner, and all of a sudden, a maneuver? It was Hook. Hook would come to Toronto to save Eddie Kingston, helping them even the numbers against Big Bill, taking out Bryan Keith, delivering a spinning back fist, and it seems like they've either aligned together, joining a new crew, and Eddie's a little shy with his body, but it's fine. Anyway, the next match would be MJF versus Mark Briscoe in the TNT match. MJF would take a few thumbtacks, but Mark Briscoe took a bunch of thumbtacks. He'd wrestle with like 15 thumbtacks in the back of his head alone. There was a few table spots where he would put him through, especially with a froggy elbow. He would take the win, surprisingly, but it's a good booking right now. Everyone's saying it's bad booking, but what the hell with the tweets? Oh yeah, remember, Danielson's on commentary too. Yeah. Timeless Tony Storm helped us decide whether we're going to spend all our money or not. I've decided to, even though I don't recognize their kingdom. Jerry Lynn continues to get Bowens and Caster to reform the Acclaim, but it doesn't look like it's going well. The Demand would take the Trios win over the Hurt Syndicate. Yeah, they're known as the Demand, remember? Anyway, the Hurt Syndicate doesn't seem to be done with Ricochet and the Gates of Agony, but for now, Ricochet takes the win and enjoys it. Mercedes Moné defeated Riho to retain the TBS title and is already on her way to surpass Jade as the longest reigning TBS champion. And I gotta say, this natural look on Mercedes looks amazing. Damn. Well, I'm just kidding. I'm playing. The Rainmaker, Kazuchika Okada, will retain the unified title against Konosuke Takeshita and Mascara Dorada. Show him your mean face, Kenny. Yee. I know his name's not Kenny, but it's close enough. What the you want? The Alpha would walk away pissed, but nonetheless, Okada is your unified champion. Or is it Callis? Okada? Does it even really matter at this point? Mox made his entrance for the Coffin match, and Marina would just immediately start smacking the out of him, but I guess it helped. But even though Darby landed a coffin drop 30 seconds in, here's some more Marina, by the way. That's all that really matters. The Death Riders will show up, and you'd think they would have done something to help with John Moxley, or I don't know, maybe even Bryan Danielson in commentary, but they just made Marina do everything. She don't need no man. Unless it's Roddy Strong or John Moxley. Damn you. Here's where Moxley's a dick, and I'll tell you why in a little bit, but they helped put the coffin in the ring, but Darby would actually get a bag from Danielson. He'd wrap the bag around his face before delivering Bryan stomps, and it was a surprise return as Pac came back. Is it Pac? Is it Pac? I think. Yeah, it's Pac. Duh, I told you. Anyway, Darby Allin would end up getting tossed out with an awesome bomb onto the coffin outside, and just like that, Mox is your winner. But here's why he's a coffins are heavy. He made him carry them all by himself. He didn't even lift nothing. He'd say he didn't want this. He didn't ask for this. He'd even be looking at Bryan directly at commentary. Looks like the Dragon's got a plan. Fresh off of his win, Mark Briscoe will be joined by the Conglomeration and Roddy. They'd actually have a 6-man match schedule where it seems like Orange Cassidy's coming back. Speaking of best friends, Kris Statlander defeated Toni Storm and is your new AEW Women's World Champion. Even Toni Storm was shocked. Kind of happy, turned on, I don't know. Harley was happy, but nonetheless, Kris Statlander is your new women's champion. Despite being from Canada, the walkie weapon Josh Alexander will get a mediocre entrance, but nonetheless, the shining star and workhorse of the group, Hedges Sato, would get a mean entrance. Look, he's dancing. And despite thinking them or the Bucks would walk away with the titles, Brodito would actually retain when Bandito climbed the ladder, taking the tag titles to retain once again. Yup. That is a happy cowboy and his big grumpy homie. It was after the match when the scapegoat, Jack Perry, would return for the Bucks, coming with a smile on his face. Despite taking a double super kick, he would actually have a vignette play as the lights went out, revealing to be the one who brought Luchasaurus back to life, Killswitch, but we'll get to that in a minute. Piecing these old vignettes from weeks and months past, revealing what everybody assumed was Jack Perry, the one who revived him. And after turning on Kip Sabian earlier in the week, Killswitch would return to save Jack Perry from the Bucks. And as a reunion between Killswitch and the Scapegoat was thought to be possible, it would get even better than that. Killswitch would give up his belt with his name on it, tossing it into the crowd, turning himself back into Luchasaurus. Tarzan Boy would play, revealing that possibly Jungle Boy is back. The Scapegoat and Killswitch would have been a crazy tag team, but nonetheless, it seems like for now, Jurassic Express is back. And what would go on to be a fire world title main event, despite tweets and Kyle Fletcher's all over the screen, Hangman Page will retain the world title, defeating the Protostar in about 40 minutes time, and actually close out the pay-per-view with not very much. I mean, damn, what the hell? Not even a run-in surprise? Oh well. And with another card in the books, that was AEW All Out 2025. Oh yeah, did I tell you? Darby Allin said Jon Moxley on fire.